Hello everyone, myself Vignesh Anand. In this video, we are going to see about the AC distribution system and DC distribution systems, and then comparing the AC and DC system, how they are working commonly. So now, AC system is mostly used in our home, which means AC is generated in a generating station, and then it is transmitted through the overhead lines, and then it is stepped down and distributed to your substation, and further it is moving to the consumer areas. So this is the basic thing carried out in a AC distributions. So electrical energy is generated and then transmitted and distributed in the form of alternating current, that is shortly known as AC. The reason for using AC is that the alternating voltage can be changed according to your magnitude by means of transformer. So a transformer is used for a step down and step upping of your voltage. If you are going for a long distance transmissions, in the time we need to step up our voltage to reduce the losses. So by this way we can achieve the lossless matlab, a minimum loss of transmission can be done by using AC system. For a high voltage AC transmission, three conductors are used, which is commonly known as three phases. Then for the AC transmission line, capacitance, inductance, and displacement needed, which means all these parameters are considered during at the time of transmission. So due to those parameters, some of the losses can be possible during at the time of transmission, like skin effect, corona effect, and then some of the common losses also been carried due to these common factors. So then it does not require any additional rectifier or inverter sections, because only AC to AC transmission is happening in the AC distribution systems. Next, this distribution is further classified into primary distribution and secondary distribution. So primary in the sense a part of AC distribution system which operates at a voltage somewhat higher than the general utilization and handles a large blocks of electrical energy than a average low voltage for a consumer. So in the sense, while at the time of transmission we are using a higher level voltages, for example 3.3, 6.6, 11 kV, up to now ultra high voltage as a 765 kV also been used for a transmission. Next, after reaching the substation, it is further moving to your consumers, which is done by some of the lower level voltage, like 3.3 kV is further stepped down into a 415 volt nominal voltage, which is used in your household things. So a secondary, it is the part of AC distribution which includes the range of voltage as per the customers. So this is a 415 volt or a 230 volt supply which is given to your household, and it is further classified into different types of wiring systems, like single phase 2 wire, single phase 3 wire, two phase 3 wire, two phase 4 wire, then three phase 3 wire, three phase 4 wire. This is a types of connections, wiring connections which are being done for the distributions. So it is your primary distribution board, which means that which step downs into a 11 kV, and then further the 11 kV is moving back to your another substation or bigger consumers like industries, that 11 kV will be flown. Then further that 11 kV will be stepped down into a 6.6 or 3.3 or 1.1 or even a low level of your voltages. Then it will be used for your consumers. So this is your basic primary side. Next, 11 kV is further stepped down into a 415 volt, which means for your householdings. So in this way the step down process can be carried out in your AC distribution systems. And uh, by this we can also reduce some of the losses, because the higher, if we can also regulate the voltage, which means the voltage regulation can be done. HVAC distribution system is used for your long transmission lines as up to 250 kilometers or even more. So if we are going for a long transmission line, which we should add additional reactors, which means some of the reactive powers needed for transmissions of your power. So next, coming up to the DC distributions. So DC in the sense direct current, as AC having a sinusoidal waveform, but in DC there is a straight line, so it don't have any magnitude. The transmission system which transfers a direct current is called as a DC transmission. So as the name suggests, the high voltage DC transmission, only two conductors are being used. One is your positive and negative. Then the DC transmission can be increased and decreased by voltage by using the choppers and boosters. For a DC transmission line, capacitor, inductors, and phase displacement, we don't need to be bothered. So automatically our losses get reduced, and also the harmonics also been reduced. Then the surges, switching surges also been reduced in the DC. Due to the absence of capacitance in the transmission line, less power loss occurs. The voltage drop also been less, so the improved voltage regulations is being carried out. And also it does not require any additional transformers for stepping up or stepping down. Instead of transformer, we are using rectifiers and inverters, because the rectifier responsible for converting AC to DC, and further it is after transmission, the DC need to be converted to AC for transportation, which means for distribution for your consumers. So the skin effect does not occur in the DC transmission system, and also the corona losses also been very rarely occurring in your HVDC. So this HVDC is used for a very long uh, transmissions, like nearly about 1500 to 1800 kilometers of transmission. So the lossless or a minimum loss level of your uh, power is happened because of the HVDC transmissions. Next is your connections of your HVDC transmission lines. One is unipolar type of connection, second one is your bipolar connections. First, unipolar in the sense two wire system. So one is your positive cable and the other one is your negative cable, and the energy is transmitted at only one voltage level. So other cable automatically connected to a reference with your ground. By this we are getting a closed path, and current get supplied through all, and also power being transmitted. Next, bipolar DC distribution system. In here we have a three wire system, basically a combination of two series connected unipolar DC systems. It consists of three conductors, two outer conductors, one is positive and another one is negative, and the other one is your middle, which is act as a ground or neutral. So the system leaves the following type of connections, like a between positive conductor and neutral, then between negative conductor and neutral, then between positive and negative, then last one is positive to negative with reference to your neutral conductor. So these are all the basic connections of your HVDC system. This is your unipolar type of connection. So as I said, AC transmission, it get converted to DC by using rectifiers in a substation, or like thyristors, IGBTs, MOSFETs, everything. Nowadays, all the electronic things. Then Further, it is transmitted to a DC distribution links, and this DC distribution links responsible for your lossless transmissions, which means a very minimum amount of losses for long distance transmissions. Then after reaching your customer site or industrial sites or another substation also, further it is converted to a DC to AC. In the sense, in here we use a normal inverters for converting DC to AC, and it will be further stepped down and used for the consumers. Then this is your second bipolar type of connections. In here we have a positive at the top, negative at the bottom, and the middle one is your neutral cables. So as I said, AC is converted to a DC by using a rectifiers as a normal IGBTs or a thyristors or a MOSFETs. It is a upgraded type of rectifiers. So these rectifiers responsible for the converting AC to DC, and the DC distribution is carried by a 3 wire lines. In here the common neutral point is nothing but the earthing point. With reference to the earthing, we will connect the both the positive and negative. So in the sense we use as a bipolar connection. If you only use any one of the poles means, it will automatically known as a monopolar mode or a unipolar mode. So these are the basic things of your HVDC transmissions. Next, coming up to the part of comparison of AC and DC transmission line. So the AC transmission line transmits the alternating current over a long distance, whereas the DC uses a alternating current even a long more than a AC long distance line. We use a DC long distance line because AC need a support, like for pushing the power we need a reactive power for that. So for that we are connecting a additional reactors. So in the sense, there will automatically increase your budget level, which means cost level also. But in the DC, for even 1500 to 1800 kilometers, we don't need such a kind of additional reactive power things. So this is possible by a DC. Then the AC line transmission has a inductance and surges and capacitance. So there may be a loss, more losses. So whereas in a DC transmission line is free from inductance and surges. The inductance and the surges are nothing but the wave of a high voltage which occurs for a short duration. Then the high voltage drop occurs across the AC terminal lines, whereas when there is a n terminal voltage are equal, the DC transmission line is free from inductance, and hence there is no voltage drop across the lines. Then the phenomenon of a skin effect occurs only in the AC transmission line. So the skin effect causes the losses, and these can be reduced by reducing the cross-sectional area of the conductors. So this kind of skin effect are completely absent in your DC transmissions. At same voltage, the DC transmission line has a less stress as compared to the AC transmission line, and hence the DC requires a less insulation as compared to AC. So in cost wise, for building a DC transmission substation, it's very higher when compared to AC. Then communication line interference is more in the AC transmission line as compared to the DC transmission line. Then corona effect is in the phase, which means the ionization occurs across the conductor, and this ionization causes the losses in your conductor. So this kind of corona effect are maximum in your AC transmissions, and it does not occur or very rarely occur in your DC transmission line. Then the dielectric losses occurs in the AC transmission line. and it does not occur in your DC transmission line. Then the AC transmission line has a difficulty of synchronism, which means AC transmission line, in the sense we have a more number of supplies, like 2 to 3 buses will be there in your substation. So we need to synchronize all these buses in order to maintain a stability of your transmissions. Whereas in DC, the transmission line is free from the stability and synchronisms. So the AC transmission line is less expensive as compared to DC transmission line. The small conductor is used for AC power transmission as compared to DC transmissions. Then the AC transmission line requires a transformers for step up and step down, whereas DC requires a booster and choppers, and also for rectifiers for converting AC to DC, and also inverter for further converting into DC to a AC after transmitting to one place to another places. These are the small updates about your AC and DC transmission. Hope you understand. I think so. See you in next video. Keep sharing your knowledge and gain your knowledge. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.